Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to College Football 25. Welcome back to the Tulsa Dynasty. Today we play our last non-conference game here in Season 2 of the Tulsa Hurricane Dynasty. Today we come in against another rival, the Houston Cougars. Who knew they were rivals with Tulsa? I didn't. I had to look up Tulsa's rivalries just to get some rivalry game points and everything, because you get good points when you play rivals. Anyway, Houston has a good team here. Very good team. And we're kicking off the Braylon Presley on the way, and Braylon Presley gets down to the 20-yard line. We enter the game 2-1, while they enter 2-0. So it's going to be a tough game here for all parties involved. First play, Kirk Francis going underneath to Joseph Williams, and that is enough for an 8-yard gain. 3rd and 2 now coming up, and it's going to be a handoff to Bill Jackson. Bill Jackson cuts right up to get the first down. Francis out of the gun. Jackson to his left. Jackson handoff, left hand side. Jackson fighting for some yards. Jackson with a 7-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 3 now, and it's going to be a screen play. That's going to be Matthew Ogunrin on the play, and that's enough for the first down. 2nd and 10 now. Bassey in the game. Freshman DeMar Bassey in the game. It's a screen his way, and Bassey gets a hand on it, and he fights for some yards. That is going to be Pat Bassey's game. Bassey is a power runner. Jackson's more elusive, and Byron Ellison is going to be our speedy guy. We have a good 3-headed monster here at running back, as it's going to be 1st and 10. Looking deep, left-hand side, right-hand side, excuse me, for Matthew Golden. Big game there, and like I say, every week they love Matthew Golden on that play right there. 1st and 10 from the 12, and there's a dump off to Luke McGarry, and now we are in the red zone. 2nd and 3 from the 5. Francis back to pass. Francis underneath gets it 1st down, so it's 2nd and goal now from the 4. Francis back to pass. Francis in trouble here. Francis throwing left-hand side. Touchdown, Tulsa. And I think that's going to be Kevin Gray on the catch. And it is Kevin Gray. I think that's his first catch of the season. And it's a touchdown. Kevin Gray is a freshman, redshirted freshman tight end. Came in last year, was redshirted last year. And he is making the most of his opportunity to play on the field now. As we kick it off now to the Houston offense. And Houston has a very good weapon at wide receiver. Number 8, Devon Williams. If he gets behind this defense, it is almost surely all over. But at quarterback, they have Zion. Is that Zion? Yes. Zion is how I believe it said. Hold on. They just pitched it out to a receiver there. 1st and goal. And it's the handoff to the running back to dump it off down right-hand side of the field. 1st and 10 now. Left-hand side, and that's exactly who we want to avoid, Devon Williams. We want to avoid him at all costs, and that's going to be a handoff to the running back. This Houston team, they have so many weapons. Hand off to the running back. Running back gets a 1st down and more. Good play here for the Houston Cougars. Down the field again. Middle of the field again. He bounced off a tackle there. Bouncing off tackles. Just spun off one. Chris back to pass. And Chris dumps it down to Vin. Oh, it's incomplete. 3rd and 4 now coming up for the Cougars. Chris back to pass. Chris looking for a dunder for his running back. Incomplete there. Bringing up 4th and 4. And the kick is good. Good kick there from the Cougars. And that will give them a field goal. So now they're down 7-3, which puts the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes back on the field. Kirk Francis hit as he throws there. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Hurricanes. Francis back to pass. Francis looking for Jeremiah Ballard there. Ballard gets the catch. 3rd and 4 now coming up. Bill Jackson to the right. And he gets hit as he thrown again, which means he go 3 and out on the play. Chris now looking for his receiver. Again, this is what we need to avoid. Good play there for the Cougars. And more play action there. Up the middle of the field, making it look easy. Devon Williams making it look easy on us. Chris back to pass. Chris has his running back, excuse me. Have his running back on the screen, and that's going to be enough to end the first quarter there. As you can see, Zion, Chris, and Kirk Francis are about similar players, have similar yardage so far. 3rd and 13 now. Chris finding an open receiver, and that is enough for the first down. Zion Chris is a player who can run the ball, who can throw it very well, and they have a good running back as well. And that's intercepted. Oh, intercepted from the transfer from Liberty. I said Tulane 1 week. I was wrong. It is Liberty. That is Lynn Green, 69 yards, pick 6. The transfer from Liberty takes it all the way back, and he is a ball-hawking safety. If he gets the ball, if he's able to jump the pass, look at him, he just jumps the pass, and from there, it's gone. Goodbye. There is no one going to be able to catch Lynn Green. Touchdown for the senior, and we're lucky to have him on the team. You see Zion Chris trying to catch him, but it just was not going to have any chance with that. That puts Tulsa up 14-3. Chris trying to play. Hands it off to Parker Jenkins, the running back. And Jenkins gets the first. No, they're going to say inches. Hand off to Jenkins this time. Jenkins gets the first down that time. Can't debate that one. 1st and 10 now for the Cougars. Quick play action here. And it goes nowhere. Daniel Callaway snuffed that one out. 3rd and 10 now. Chris looking for his receiver. Chris moving around, but Chris gets taken down. Owen Ostrowski on the sack. And Zion Chris is not happy with that. Francis now, after the punt, out. Francis intercepted. Oh my goodness. Kirk Francis just giving the ball right back to Houston. Not sure if Francis saw who that was. It seems like Francis didn't see the defender there and just threw the ball. And now Houston, 3rd and 12 now, has a chance to get this game a little bit closer. But he's under pressure and sacked. Down goes Chris again. This offensive line not helping him out. And there's another punt there. At bouncing it at the 5, but it bounces forward. That's a Tulsa bounce to the 14. So we get about 10 yards on that one. 10 extra yards. And look at Francis going deep. Looking for Braylon Presley. Francis, back to pass. Francis finding Braylon Presley on this one. And that's a gain of 7 for Presley. And surprisingly, I'm glad to see Braylon. And there's Braylon Presley again. 4th and 1 coming up. They like going for it on 4th down. And guess who? Braylon Presley 3 times in a row. 3 catches for 15 yards for Presley. And I'm surprised. It's been about 4 weeks, and we have not seen a lot of Braylon Presley on the offense. He is an all-pro returner, and you have this all-pro returning from last year, and you're not using him in the slot or anything. They elected to go Matthew Ogorin in the slot. Even put Jeremiah Ballard in the slot this year. But it's just not showing lots of results. Presley almost had that one. And now it's back to the Cougar offense. And here comes Jenkins. Jenkins with a good run there. But that's going to come back as there is a hold on the play. 2nd and 16 now for Houston. Chris back to pass. Chris looking left-hand side, and it bounces right off of Williams. That could have been trouble if Williams was able to get that, as Jenkins gets nothing on the play. 4th and 18 coming up for the Cougars, and it's going to be the all-pro returner, Braylon Presley, who gets not much, but we have good field position as we're past the 50 here. And Braylon Presley again. He dropped the ball last second. But this is what I'm saying. We haven't seen Presley all year. Byron Ellison on the screen. Ellison gets a 7-yard gain on the play. Needed to wait for his blocks there. 4th and 3 now, as this team loves to go for it. Presley converts on the first down. 5 catches for 27 yards now for Presley. Kirk Francis now finding Bill Jackson. Bill Jackson waits for his blocks. That's how you do it, Ellison. 2nd and 4 now coming up as this Golden Hurricane team is driving down the field. Francis back to pass. Francis has a man. Guess who? I've said his name plenty of times on this drive. And it's going to result in a field goal before the half. And right here at halftime, Tulsa is up on Houston 17-3. Which is great for the Golden Hurricanes. A great first half for the Hurricanes, not doing too much. Getting the ball down the field, and the emergence of Braylon Presley back into the offense to inserting him back in the offense, I will say, has done its diligence. It has worked. And at halftime, we're up by 2 scores, 14. But that pick 6, Brylan Green's pick 6, has widened the gap a little bit. And you know what? I think if this team, they're not doing too much on offense, you're doing just enough on offense to win. Defense is playing well enough to win the game. Don't have a lot of turnovers. Keep playing the game your way. We can win this rivalry game. And look at Zion Chris going deep immediately. And that was danger if that was able to be caught. Just a wee bit overthrown, but the man, he had his man beat. Chris now back to pass. Chris, left-hand side. Gain of 5 on the play. Zion Chris going right-hand side this time, and it's a first down. 2nd and 8 now for the Cougars. And it's going to be a wide receiver screen on that one. Gain of 7, and now it seems that Houston is moving the ball. Oh, beautiful throw there from Chris. And Chris is like the kind of quarterback I think Coach Perkins would like on his team. Look at this run. That's the type, that seemed like running that looks like Coach Perkins was running back in his day. Former running back is Coach Brandon Perkins. Williams on that catch. Williams getting 6 on the play. 2nd and 4 now coming up. And that's a big gain there for the Cougars. 2nd and 8 now from the 13. Looking to get in the red zone here, but there's a flag on the play, and I'm going to bet my bet that's coming back. 2nd and 17 now. Ball on the 23. Dumping it off to the fullback, and that is going to be into the end zone. No, it's not. Out at the 1, but it's going to hand off to Jenkins. Jenkins going to walk it in. Touchdown, Houston. And Houston, just like that, is back into this game. As with 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter, Tulsa is only up by 7. But look at this running by Byron Ellison. This is why I say we have 3 good running backs on this team. And whoever's the hot hand is that day, you just have to run with it. Today, I don't see us having a specific hot hand, but you just got to roll with it. Bill Jackson spinning off a tackle. Bill Jackson getting the first down for the Golden Hurricanes. 1st and 10 now. There's going to be a screenplay. Brylan Presley. And this is what I mean. We haven't seen him in the offense all year. Why? By design? I don't know. If there is a little punishment going on, I don't know. Ellison gets the first down on that play. But when this offense can gel, can they gel? Underneath to Luke McCary on the play. 2nd and 3 now coming up out of the gun. Jackson to the right. Jackson right up the middle for a first down. Ball on the 19 now. And it's going to be a handoff to Jackson again. Jackson left-hand side. Jackson getting the first down into the red zone. Into the 1st and goal. Catch to Presley. Presley not able to get into the end zone. They bring in power run back. Kyle Bingham. Handoff to Bingham. And Bingham powers his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Tulsa. That is the big power running back, Kyle Bingham. We don't see him a lot. That's 4 running backs we have seen today. run the ball. Bassey's ran the ball. Byron Ellison's run the ball. Big Hand run the ball. And, of course, Bill Jackson. Did I say Bill Jackson already? Maybe. Jackson, Ellison, Bassey, and Big Ham have run the ball today. And, oh, no, Williams gets behind the defender at that time. As Houston now going down the field. Play action there. And they have a man open. Oh, goodness. Without falling down and without it being a high throw, that is a touchdown. Chris has missed a couple of throws this game that could change the complexity of this game completely. 3rd and 4, back to pass. Hit as he throws, looking for the screen there. And it is incomplete. 4th and 4 coming up for the Cougars. Kick is up. And the kick is going to be good. Just cutting down Tulsa's lead just a little bit. Kicking off to All-Pro Brylan Presley, the returner of the year last year. Presley looking for his... Presley is just looking for getting that space. He's going to bring one back this year. I already know it. Like he's just got to bring at least one back. Good play there. Matthew Golden on a big play. The transfer from Texas, they like what they're getting out of him. Golden has replaced that. Look at this. Williams, 7 catches for 59 yards. 6 catches for 59 yards. Excuse me. But Golden now, the number 1 receiver. And Tulsa, man wide open, is Braylon Presley. How is Presley getting so wide open now? Francis back to pass. Francis hit as he's going down for the sack. And Francis back to pass. Francis getting sacked again on back-to-back plays. And I think Francis thought he may have gotten the team the free play there, because Francis looked unbothered on that, but Houston's defender did jump back in time. Houston going to go try to down the field, batted down by Ostrowski. Beautiful play from Owen Ostrowski, getting through the double team and getting that big play here. Chris finally hits on the deep ball. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Cougars. Left-hand side, looking for a deep ball again, and it's batted down by Nunu Campbell. 3rd and 8 now. Chris having the deep ball again, and this is what I mean. He had Williams open. He had Williams for the touchdown. Another big throw Chris has missed. If he has, he's going to make these throws. He's going to have to intercept it. Oh, no. I don't know where Kirk Francis was looking on that one. But Zion Chris, he's going to have to hit these throws. Eventually almost intercepted again. Both quarterbacks with some questionable throws. This one, hand off to the running back Jenkins. Jenkins going to run it down, and Houston's going to add a field goal. So 16-24. Houston down by 8. 2nd and 10. 6 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the game. Tulsa's going to have to add a score here to make it another one, but instead they add another interception to the game. Francis, what are you doing? 2 drives, 2 interceptions in a row, and now Houston has the chance to tie it up with 6 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the game. 2nd and 1. Hand off to the running back, and running back gets the first down. Chris now handing off to Jenkins again. Jenkins, left hand, right hand side. Jenkins getting enough for the first down. No, they're going to say 2nd and 1 from the 5. I thought he got 10 yards on that play. It's going to be a quick throw, left hand side. 1st and goal now. Out of the pistol, it's going to be Jenkins. Jenkins right up the middle for his 2nd touchdown of the game. And they're going to go for 2 here. Houston going for 2 with 4 minutes and 33 seconds remaining. Handoff. Jenkins. Spinning off a tackle. Spinning off Keon Parker. And he's into the end zone. It is now a tie ball game with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. They're going to have to go down the field to win this game. 71 yards. This team is going to have to go. Bill Jackson with the carry. Jackson gets nothing on that one. 3rd and 1 coming up. Hand off to Jackson. Jackson gets the first down. You're going to lean on your best back at this time, aren't you? 1st and 10 now. Ball on the 38. Looking right-hand side. Looking for Matthew Golden. And Golden, your new #1 receiver, delivers. Replacing Camden Benjamin. Francis now, this time, running, getting the first down. And Hurricanes are now driving down the field with relative ease. Jackson now. Off the carry. 3rd and 3. And that's going to be DeMar Bassey getting his 2nd carry of the game. Bassey with a first down. That's going to be Bill Jackson again. They are running this clock down. Bassey again, 3rd and 6. Bassey with the getting nothing on that play, losing one. But they drive the clock down with a timeout. Houston used all their timeouts. And it's now time to get this field goal. Field goal is good. 37 seconds remaining in the game. .26 seconds remaining game. Ball on the 14. Zion Chris, and Houston has to go all the way down the field. And he's sacked on the play. That's Will Upshaw, I believe, on the sack. 3rd and 22. After a spike. I don't know why they spiked it, but Owen Atrosky says, thank you. Next, let me in the game with the safety. And that will put Tulsa, just Owen Atrosky, just coming through untouched until the very end. That would bring Tulsa to victory. 29-24. Tulsa approves the 3-1. This was a good non-conference schedule, I thought. We got the win over Oklahoma State, which surprised me. But our defense kept us in that game. Houston, I thought, was a good match for us. I thought it was a good match. I thought it could go either way. Lost to West Virginia. Not surprised there. Miami, Ohio, I thought we were also a good match for. So, I feel like, overall, we did what we wanted to do. We came out here, threw the ball 40 times. That's not something I want to do going forward. But I feel like we played well enough to win. And I'm proud of this team. I mean, we did play well enough to win. We did win the game. But I felt like our non-conference schedule went as well as we thought it could go. And it went better. I thought we had a chance to be 2-2. But we're 3-1 after the non-conference schedule. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I believe our first conference game is against ECU. I believe that's the next week game. Is against ECU. And then we play Navy after that. Yeah. I believe that is the schedule. So next week, we go to East Carolina. Last year, they came to us and beat us. So now we have to go to their team. To go to there, beat them. So that's what we have here. I felt like today was a good game. Feel like we just played a good team game. Zion Chris Jr. for them. He's going to be good for them going in the future. Parker Jenkins, I like him. I like the way he runs and everything. They also had some really good receivers like Devin Williams. Devin Williams had the chance to break a lot of plays open, but they just weren't giving him the chance. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Drake and Love destroying us. We might play Houston again next year at their home. We might do a home and home series with them. Maybe week 1. We'll see. But thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more Tulsa Dynasty. I'm getting these videos out more often now that I'm not sick and now that I'm figuring out. Now that I'm trying to get a more consistent schedule of my work and everything. But we're working things out. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more Tulsa Dynasty.